Hi folks, we're moving along with the fixed blade knives here, and this is a really small fixed blade knife, but one I actually really like. I have two of these. One my son uses for work as a landscape gardener, and it's stood up to some really serious abuse. And this one I kept this one just for the collection. His one is blue, a really bright blue, so that if he drops it on site, he can see it and pick it up. Originally, the blue, I was going to keep the blue, and I was going to give him this one, and I just thought that could easily get lost in sand and stuff. It's a sort of beigey colour. It's quite a nice colour, actually. Now, as is usual with Mora knives, comes in a moulded plastic sheath. It has no belt fixing. There is a belt fixing you can get for it that it clips into, and then it has a strap over the top to keep the knife from falling out. Not that it's likely to fall out, but the other thing you can do with that is if you put a cord through these two holes here and hang it as a neck knife, then obviously you want to make sure it can't fall out. Personally, I quite like it as a pocket knife because, well, we'll come to because in a minute, but obviously it's not used much. It's quite stiff in the sheath. It's a good solid sheath. We'll come back to the sheath though in a minute. This has a mere 2-inch, I believe, just over 2-inch, 2 1/8 inch. I always wonder why people make blades that come to just over. I suppose it's 55 millimeters, and I suppose being Swedish, maybe that makes sense. Now, it's made in Sweden. It's a stainless steel blade, but it'll be a Sandvik steel of some variety. I don't actually know what it is. It has a Scandi grind here, and a sort of Scandi grind here, but with a thinned out scalloped edge behind it. And the angle of the bevel here and the angle of the bevel here is exactly the same. So it is. If it wasn't scalloped out here, it would be an ordinary Scandi grind all the way through. But that gives you a kind of thin behind the edge thing. It's one of the problems I think with the Scandi grind is you're going immediately from razor sharp edge to full thickness of the steel, whereas with this you've got almost like a flat grind with a big, or a hollow grind even, with a big terminal bevel on it. Just 2 millimeter steel, or might even be less than 2 millimeter steel. It's quite thin, but being so short, it's stiff. There's no flex in it. The handle itself has a sort of hard plastic in there with a soft rubber over moulding on it. But when I say it's soft, it's robust and tough. The handle is very small, and that's great if you've got little hands or if you're happy with that. But if you want a bigger grip on it, the point at which the handle, the scabbard fits into the handle is halfway along the handle. So that means you can put it into the scabbard this way up. It clips in just as tightly as if it was in the if the knife was in blade first, and then you'd have a long handle, which gives you extra leverage and just makes it more comfortable to use. So I think that's very useful. If you've got the clipped-on belt thing, that doesn't work. So, I think it's probably better used like that. It does also mean though, if you've got a lanyard on the handle of the knife itself, here you can't do that. So I think it's better just to keep it like this. Then you've got actually a really very generous hold on it, a very useful sharp blade, but it is short. Now, if you want a longer blade, they do longer blade ones, but I thought this was particularly good for him because he's young, and you know, he's more likely to be stopped by the police. And if he's stopped by the police, I'd rather he had a 2-inch blade that looked like he used it for work than a sort of 4 or 6-inch blade knife, which would get him banged up straight away. He might be able to argue his way out of it. He might be able to get a caution. He might be able to get away with getting it confiscated. But it still worries me that he has a fixed blade, but I think he needs it for his work, so I don't think it's unreasonable for him to have it. He also has a Manly Wasp, and a sort of his day knife, if you like, is a Real Steel Luna. And the Wasp and the Luna are obviously UK legal to carry. The Luna particularly is quite very uncontroversially. Anyway, so this is the Morakineiv Eldris. Did I say it was called the Eldris? Well, it is. It's called the Eldris. And it's available in lots of colours. And it's a really good little knife. And it's a sort of knife you can sort of keep as a desk knife. You can use it, as I say, on a building site. You can wherever you want to use it. It's a great little knife, relatively small, light, non-threatening. Anyway, if you like the stuff, give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of it, remember to ring the bell. Thank you very much. Bye.